I don't know.
Well, we'll find out if anyone is lurking or whatnot. Maybe I'm
Hello,
not seeing it.
hello,
Um,
hello.
so good evening. It's funny how like when you get into a vibe of something and you're so considerate of the time that other people are investing in you and to
Mhm.
come and see us and no,
Yeah,
they're not there yet.
yeah,
It's
I
it's
know.
a natural good
It
God
is.
or
Yeah.
creator's time that they will
Uh,
be.
hmm.
Um,
Hmm. Yeah,
but I'm
yeah.
glad you're on my channel.
Thank you.
I
Yeah, even if nobody comes, we've got a lot of things we can do and talk
oh
about and
God,
read
yeah.
on, actually. So,
Well,
yeah.
and even that too, the CERN. I watched a couple videos about CERN,
Okay. Yep.
and I'm actually a little bit more encouraged about CERN than I was before. Although, if people screw with CERN, I'm worried about the whole molecular thing and what it's doing to our heads.
I
You
have
know,
this, feeling when I was talking with the Akashic Records, and it was Atlantis all over again. That's what it was. It was like we got to that point in Atlantis where we were able to, know a lot of things, do a lot of things, all that stuff, and then kaboom, gone. So that kind of bothered me.
oh yeah,
I
and
just,
even in Atlantis, it's like how that's the thing with all of this is how many different iterations of this that we're going through now have resulted in, of course,
yeah,
the and then whatever comes after is just a reformation of that, and even the more mythical ones like Atlantis or
yeah,
whatever, you
yeah,
know. But I mean,
yeah.
there's something very regressive more so about this because everyone's a madman all over the
Right
world. Right?
now, yeah,
We have
and
too
that's
many
where I
madmen
had
that are
to come
running
up with that
things. So,
idea that
that's the
yeah,
difference.
yeah. And that's where you feel like you come up with the idea that something must have happened because but I asked Chat GPT today about it, and it said, Allie, is it that everybody's evil or things are bad, or is it because you're just noticing it more because it's right out there in front of your
Could have
face?
been, it could have been this way all the time.
Could have been.
I mean, it could have very well.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
And it was something on Celtic Sheila's channel yesterday when she did a remote view. She was practically crying. I
Oh
don't know if you
dear.
saw it, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
hello everybody.
Oh,
Hi, Nat Milo. Hi,
I
Amanda
know.
Celeste. Hi,
Yes.
Venus Pisces.
Yes.
Hi,
That's
yeah.
Batul, and Batul's from Saudi Arabia. And then we have Kay
Oh,
Forsyth.
really?
Yes. I
Oh,
just
cool.
met Batul yesterday. I was on with Linda Day Gonzalez. So we
Oh,
really literally
really?
have people all over the world. Nat's down the bottom and
I have
Batul's in the
Norway.
middle. And yeah.
We have Norway.
Yeah.
We have this one down here too. We have
The
Trooper.
Shetland Islands. Yes.
Yeah. Somebody's been a
Oh,
little bit rambunctious tonight because I kept
oh,
giving him Rachel Ray Nutrish treats, and
oh.
when I stopped, all hell broke loose, and we start jumping
Sure.
on the bed because he knows I've got the bag. I'm like, and then he knows I move the bag over there, and then when I start talking, and I'm not, I can't eat either. I can't eat either, or else,
Right. Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Oh, no. Oh, in my house, it's that way. My dogs will stare at me the whole time, and I don't give him food. He does, and
As
but I
I break,
don't.
you
Yeah.
don't. I would be
Mhm.
so quick to break down. I just break the
Yeah.
fuck
He
right
breaks
down.
down all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah. Mhm.
yeah. Because I mean, for me, it's like it. It seems to me like if you're not making them part of your family in every way, because in every way they really are.
Oh, yeah.
You're not
That's true.
activated
It
to do
isn't that
things.
I don't give them treats, because I do, but,
Oh
like,
yeah,
he'll give them part of his sandwich and part of
me too.
his
Mm.
pie.
I mean, I've done some weird stuff. What is it this week? I had a chicken shawarma sandwich from, it was just from Whole Foods. And
Uh-huh.
it was the sandwich part. And they're eating some of the mushrooms, the chicken, the shawarma, all of
You
that.
gotta be careful, though. I don't know if mushrooms are that good for them.
I
You
don't
gotta
know if they're that good for dogs, but I mean, it was like not even a whole one, but I mean, it's like
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah.
they're
That
just like,
I used to give my dogs grapes. They would catch them, but then I realized that they're very deadly for them. So
and
no
the other
grape.
one too was like, what I'll do is with the Amazon pretzels that have the peanut butter in them, I'll eat the little half of of the cylindrical pretzel, and
Hmm.
then I'll throw the part without the peanut butter on the ground. That's the other half of it.
Yeah.
Chop it in half, and then one of them will eat it, and the other one will. Hi, Kelly.
Yeah. And we got your question, Kay Forsyth. It's nice to see you. So how's everybody doing? It's another beautiful Friday night.
It's actually warm out here. The dew
Is it?
point is dry, but even still, as I get older, even when it's warmer, it's not controllable. It's
Yeah.
still like if the dew point is 58, that's too much for me. Whereas years ago, that wouldn't be. It could
Yeah.
be just older and fatter, but
Well,
um,
like today's 83, but we have
no humidity.
no humidity, and it's really it's dry if you're outside for any period of time, but I just go sit out there maybe for 5 or 6 minutes and come back in and go in and out. So,
Hmm.
but
This one will go back in the garage if he doesn't want to be out. He'll
and go
jump.
in the cold
It's
floor.
so weird.
Yeah.
It's so weird. Sometimes his two paws he'll be deliberative about not wanting to go in. He'll want to do that, but I can't get my two paws to go up on. Like, what are you doing? You just did this 5 minutes ago, and then all of a
Uh-huh.
like, no, I can't do it. No, I can't do it. And then we can do it.
Right.
It's like,
Selective. Well, can you help me?
you know, so
Yeah. Oh, well, I felt really bad because my dog, my new puppy dog, got something in her fur, and it's like a treat got stuck in all the fur. And the last time that happened, it took me a while, but I was able to get it out of it. So this time I did, and she kept crying, and I kept going, "Stop! Don't keep moving." And I looked, and I had ripped the fur off her, like, and
oh
she
my
was
god.
bleeding. And then I felt like a horrible person. So
Oh
I
my
just
god.
put some hydrocortisone on it. And fortunately, it was like back here. She couldn't get to it, but I don't know how she ended up with it. I just have no idea what treat she had that did that. But anyway,
Kelly,
that's a
how's
good.
Victor Marks doing out there in Denver? How's he doing? Is he looking good in the polls over there?
Victor Marks. Is he
Yeah.
is he a Democrat or?
No, he's a Republican, and
Oh,
he's one of the more, let's just say, interesting candidates on the Republican side, and one of the
oh,
more.
that's the one who murdered somebody when he was a kid, right? Yeah. Okay. Well, because why not? Right? All bets are off. Anything goes. Because they got Andy Biggs running for governor of Arizona. Come on. Oh my God. Not doing well in Denver. Yeah. Yeah.
Hi, Garrett Garnett. Hello,
Yeah.
sir.
Guys here. Yeah. Oh my goodness sakes. I don't know, everybody. It's just Rod Serling would say there's he couldn't have made this up for the Twilight Zone. Yeah. I bet. Wouldn't it be surprising if Victor and Lauren got together? Oh, yes, 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 Amanda. I know. I do know. Yeah. Wow. Uh-huh. Yeah, I know. When I first had April Joy, she had some hair going in her mouth, and I was trying to get the hair off, and I sliced her tongue. Yeah. So you don't give me any scissors. They're not a good idea.
Was it
Yeah.
over here too, like with trying to cut their you're supposed to, I guess, I don't know about cats, as I can't remember. I think you're supposed to clip their toenails,
Yeah.
dogs nails, and
Yep.
they don't, these two do not like it.
No, they hate it. They all hate all this stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
They hate it.
Yeah.
So um
Yeah,
Because one
that's
day,
right.
and then the brushing the teeth part too, they hate that.
Hmm. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. So yeah, we were just talking backstage about the three families that lost their loved ones 2 or 3 days ago, and they came and they were given the heroes'
Was
last
this the
goodbye,
dignified transfer? Were
the
they given the?
dignified transfer,
And
which
then
was
he said
actually,
something,
yeah, undignified.
something
Yeah.
inane like, well, something
These
that was
people died when after they signed the agreement not to fight, so they weren't really in the war. So we're not
that
going to call
we're
them
not going to
casualties.
deal with this. Yeah.
And then he says he's at the speech in Georgia. There's a guy behind him that's mimicking him, but the guy really liked him. I guess they figured that out. But he's saying a lot of really inane things. But he said one of the families was there, and they were he was leaving to go to Georgia to go give the speech, and they said they were on their way to Georgia, and he said, "Would you like to have a ride on Air Force One?" And they went, "Wow, yeah." I can't imagine. I just lost my daughter, but I got a ride on Air Force One. You know, Jesus Christ. You can't make that up. It's like you're in an alternative universe. Yeah. I don't know.
You gotta love those air signs. Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. Yes. Dynamicism. Whatever. So
Whatever it is.
I was playing Spelling Bee today, which I
Oh,
love. And
uh-huh.
they do pangrams on that. And
Yeah.
I didn't know what there's something called hardtack, HARDTACK. Do you
Yes.
know what that is?
Yes.
It's
Hardtack
for
was what you gave a baby when they were teething back in the
yeah.
40s. Yeah.
And then I'm like, and Mary is 10 years younger than I am. And I guess when I looked it up, it had something to do with bread. I don't know,
It might have been like stale bread or something.
I'm
Yeah.
like, I was like trying to find the other pangram. And I'm like, what is this? And then all of a sudden, I'm like, hardtack. I'm like, what the fuck is that? Mary's
Yeah.
like, you don't know that word? I go, no, I don't. I
Yeah.
mean, meanwhile, like one day there are 7 letters total, and out of it I got Lilliputian, from
Uh-huh.
Gulliver's Travels. I
Yes.
looked at it. She's like, what the fuck is that?
Right.
When you
Right.
read
Yeah.
Gulliver's Travels. So
You're
it's funny.
probably the only one that got that right, because there's
You you
nobody
know,
that knows that.
I
And
mean,
the other thing is when you're a professor and you're a professor of literature, then I'm supposed to have read every piece of great literature. So somebody asked me a question about
yes, mhm.
Dante's Inferno, I think it was. I said, "Geez, I have not read that." "You haven't read
You
that?"
haven't read that? Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, it's
Yeah.
bad enough at the college level as far as the reading goes, and then if you
Mhm.
are, or not bad enough, it's almost undoable.
Mhm. Mhm.
If you go to a 4-year college, a
Mhm.
liberal arts college, to read everything.
You
And
can't.
then I had a Shakespeare
No.
class my senior year of college, and I loved Shakespeare, so I took it in college and I took it in high school. We were
Mhm.
the final essay had to be 22 pages long,
In
and it
high
was easy
school?
for me. No, in
Oh,
college.
oh, in college, okay.
Yeah.
Wow, wow. Well, there's a lot that I hadn't read until probably about 20 years ago, and there's some things that I really can't still I don't like Faulkner at all. He doesn't use any paragraphs. His sentences are
And it,
like
it seems
4
as the
lines
run-on
long.
set, like I don't know if they're run-on sentences or if they're sentences that are just structured in such a way,
Yeah, yeah,
diction-wise, that I'm having issues with it because I never understood
right.
his
I
motive,
can't.
and it was
Yeah.
hard to read that in high school.
Oh,
That we
yeah.
read,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it really is. And I used to I taught Shakespeare's contemporary because I didn't care that I don't care that much for Shakespeare, honestly. I've read it, but I like Cervantes. I love Don Quixote.
Dante's Inferno,
Great book. Yeah. Yeah.
Don Quixote, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. But he was born the same year and I think even month that Shakespeare was. So they were contemporaries.
And he
But
wasn't, he actually had a history that was emblematic of the things that he wrote about too, from
yep,
everything
that's
I've
very
read
true.
about him. Yeah.
Yep. hmm Anyway,
Well, I guess
well,
we should do readings.
yeah, we got one person already up here. Thanks for putting up with us. Jeff and I weren't sure anybody was going to come, so we're glad to have you here. All right. You want to know the general that's coming for you? Okay.
I just pulled the cards out. Someone thinks it's food.
Oh, yeah. Of course, because it was always on his mind.
I mean, he's just so ridiculous. What do you know about that? Oh, no. Okay.
Oh, what do we got?
And you would think too, they don't get fed. It's like, what?
I know. Well, dogs will. That's why you can never leave like on a bowl with food in it because they will eat.
Oh, you missed. Yeah, you missed the day that when Braden.
Cats don't. They know how to. I guess
Braden went right for the coffee and was like totally climbing the walls.
Oh my
When
goodness.
the Dunkin' Donuts, no, it was Starbucks. It spilled. My aunt had it. It was my Uncle Bob's, who's here still, and for some reason she had to move it when she was cleaning, so it got knocked over by Braden, and Braden lapped it all up. That dog was friggin' like for hours. It was like a caramel macchiato or something.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's funny. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying the conversation. Yeah, Paradise Lost. That's right, Garnet. I love that. Hello, Verity. It's good to see you. Gerald and Helen had a great conversation about literature, about epistology works. Excellent. That's always nice. It's nice to have people interested in books and reading and films. Those things I love talking about films. I don't know if anybody's ever seen any of the Criterion collection, but they're the best films ever. Hi, Mel. And some of them are really strange, like Clockwork Orange is on that list. If you've ever watched that, that's a weird movie.
Is that a weird movie?
It is. I watched it in 1975, so you were just born, and I'm watching.
That's when it came out, right?
Yes. Yep. And it was at rated X at that time. Yeah. So, all right. So Kay Forsyth. My first card is the horse, which is freedom and determination and endurance. And so I don't know if you are thinking about doing something or you just have the opportunity that something's going to come up for you that you can do, but you're going to have the freedom to do it. And it may take a while, but you have not only the freedom, but the endurance to stick with it. And it will bring you prosperity and abundance. Because I got the acorn and that's just the beginning of the tree. So I feel that this is a really good luck energy for you for good things to come. And I pulled another card out of a different deck and it's rebirth. So this will be like a rebirth for you. It reminds me a lot of the tower energy. When the tower comes in, everybody gets worried, but it's really not that scary if you consider that you wouldn't have done it if you hadn't torn something down. You wouldn't have gotten something better. So I think something good coming up for you that maybe is either been in the works or you're putting into the works. Oh, you do, Verity? You have a lot of Criterion? Cool. Yeah. Is it true? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So no, it's interesting because the cards that Ellie got are echoing what I have already.
Okay. Oh.
She said something about the immersion that you might have into something new that might actually be more rewarding to you, and I'm feeling as if she said something too about the impetus to actually want to go ahead and do something differently, because I got, the seeds are being planted, so to speak.
Yeah.
The challenge here is, for too long, I think what I heard was, and I heard Mustang. I don't know if I was thinking Mustang convertible or the horse, but I kind of feel like the antiquity of life and collection, that seems to be something that resonates with you for some reason. But there's something here about undervaluing your ability or
Oh.
waiting for something to change, because when I saw the Queen of Cups above, it's kind of like, you hold on to that energy in the subconscious, waiting for something to change, to maybe mark yourself ready to pull the lid off and move. And I kind of feel as if the delicacy, they're telling me the delicacy and the fragility of your experience is the message you need to
Mm.
move with this. So what Ali picked up on made sense to me. I got the Page of Swords in the back reversed. I kind of feel like you went more for they're telling me the first 30 years, up to about 30, you were kind of, dipping your toes in a lot of different things, but also um, without a lot of direction. And you kind of lament that now,
Mhm.
because you don't feel totally in your authority. But really, this is the time for things to bloom for you. Okay.
Mm.
Time where
Mhm.
things actually move in the direction you want them to. Um, I think more than anything, um, the same things that probably happened before that might put a freeze on something, that somebody tells you something as to how to make, let's just say something ridiculous, like you can make water out of wine out of water, or whatever. You don't, nothing is impossible, if you take the sarcasm that people give you out of the equation and realize that you can do something. Because I feel like there are people that belittle or minimize your gifts. You'll be celebrating soon,
Mhm.
I believe, based on this. I also think, based on this card, this isn't, there are forces around you that have created an emotional vacuum that you need to get out of.
Mhm.
I think whatever this Project Alley or whatever she's picking up on is something that will help you get out of that.
Mhm.
That's what I have
Mhm.
for you.
That's awesome. Good. Good. I'm glad to hear that. Because sometimes, we hope we're making sense. So good. I'm glad we did. I'm glad we did. Wow. Good luck with that new venture. Yeah. You're going through that and working through it. Wonderful. Yeah. All right. All right. So, Maria Scorpio, we'll put you on the list here. I see that you have blocked Philip, and now you want to move forward. So we'll see what that energy looks like in a few minutes. We got a couple people in front of you. So, Mel B has a friendship with John. Nothing better than that. That's how a
Mhm.
good relationship should start. Mm. Hmm. All right, what is there to know? The first card I'm getting, Mel, is a piggy bank. Um, and a piggy bank, of course, could mean saving money. A piggy bank could be being frugal or saving something so you can have it later on. Um, but it also could be that you might have some reservation, or he might have some reservation. So it could be that you're both cautious, that you don't know if you should make it more than what it is. And there's nothing wrong with that, because if it's going to be anything else, you know, you can give it a little bit more time in order for that to happen. But the fact that you're together, working together, having a good time together, is like money in the bank, it's saying. That's what I get with the piggy bank. Okay. So there's nothing wrong with that. Beginning as a friend, I totally believe that, actually. I really do. The second card is the Anchor. And there's a strong bond here. And this could be very enduring. Whether that just remains friends or not, it doesn't matter, because you enjoy the relationship. And if you're enjoying it the way it is, then there's no reason for you not to enjoy it if things change into something more. But you can still enjoy it if it doesn't. And so an anchor, of course, is safety and security. But the truth is that our safety and our security has to come from us first anyway. So if both of you are perhaps rooted in that idea that a person doesn't make us safe and secure, we have to do that ourselves. But the next card I have is I'm sorry, I can't speak. Tuning in, turning in. You can't see it, but there's people behind here, and they're kind of ghostly looking. Okay, so what I think it's reminding you to do is to tune into your heart and not listen as much to your head, because your head has all the things in the background, all the things that were said, all the things that were done in past relationships. You're a little cautious, and that's okay. But you hear the tapes of some of the other people and what their thoughts are about it. Make the choice. If it changes, make the choice to your choice and not listen to the voices of others, or make your own choice to stay the way it is, whichever way it is that you find yourself walking towards. I hope that helps.
My take on this is a little different.
Okay.
I'm feeling like there's a reason why you're kind of both skittish. Because when I went into this energy, I was feeling kind of anxious and kind of empty at the same time, almost like it's like one of you is waiting for the other person to let them down. What I got was, waiting, trying to make a decision. Jupiter in Aquarius, is it Gemini or whatever? Whatever. The real issue here is trying to make a decision that balances the weight of the baggage each of you bring into this. Because then I got the challenge of the devil, the chronic things. There are things that need to be fleshed out, or things that could repeat based on behaviors that are going on now. I got the Tower. I think there is something that drives you together that could actually, because this doesn't necessarily mean anything tragic. It's just something that could actually be the thing that is binding you together, is some sort of shared trauma. In the past, a lot of this was going on. I'm wondering, if you guys had a lot of phone calls over at night, over the phone, or met online over, whatever. I got this came in subconsciously. Am I making the right decision? Am I just trying to fulfill some need immediately for instant gratification? Am I there's this idea that one of you is cheating. One of you is jealous of the other, thinking of there's someone else in there. So there is secrets. There is some sort of component about not knowing something about the other. Externally, people are like trying to discourage it.
That might be that card I had with people behind her.
Yeah, I'm getting the sensation that there's this sort of, you're really not ready to do this yet. You're not ready to be self-sufficient enough to make a right decision about a relationship, when in reality, sometimes what's fated to be with those is that someone else props you up and builds you up more because you're with them and you benefit from it. This the open fear is that it'll be a waste of time. One of you is like extremely cynical about relationships to the point where I almost feel like it's a real slog to try to get back into one because one of you was really hurt, and actually I almost feel like the whole life changed when someone lost something or somebody, and maybe a lot of money was swindled too. I don't know.
That's interesting because you're bringing up things that were in my cards, like the piggy bank and the people
Oh yeah,
behind you and all that. So I'm almost wondering if it's their energy together or energy they've had in the past with other partners, making it difficult to decide if they could trust what they have. So
that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Yep. And she says she resonates with that about having reservations. So
Yeah.
Yep. I think that's smart, Mel, because, but it really sucks when people will stand behind you and go, "You're not ready yet. You can't do this." So yeah, there you go. All right. So Maria, we have you. I thank you for this. I hope that this is going to work for you, that you're going to be able to do this. And you had a 9-year relationship with Philip. And so the calls and the messages about other women, that's abuse. That's abuse. You are being abused by this person, and you need to walk away from the abuse. And it's not easy to do because you had a lot of money in the game, so to speak. You had a lot of energy put into this relationship, but it's about how much can you tolerate being abused is what it is. And you are, it can become a self-abuse, because if you're not recognizing it, or you're falling for him doing that, or he's doing that to you, then it's never good. It's not healthy. And I can say this because it's happened to me. I understand. Good. I'm glad. Oh, okay. Very cynical, Mel. Yeah. Okay. That's all right. Like I said, if it's just you end up being friends for another 2 years or whatever it is, if you're happy with that, that's all you need to do. All right. So Maria, let's see. Yeah, I had to do that. I had to do that with my third husband. So, yeah. And he, actually, no, it was my second husband. I'm sorry. I was pregnant with my son, and he was dallying, and he wanted me to just wait until he got done with that so he could come back. No, you don't. That's abuse for me. That was total abuse. So you are desiring balance is what this is. And you need stability. And what did I just say to Mel? Stability has to come from you. Can't come from him, can't come from anybody else. And so you need to find that gentle balance where you're doing things for yourself and you're loving yourself. That's so important. And look, I get a male. That comes right in here. And it's this male energy must go. You're balancing him. You don't need to. And this is a gift for you. Give yourself that gift. If it takes you going and talking to a therapist or asking somebody for help that way, it's worth it. It really is worth it, because you're worth it. So
let me see what I have here. I am getting this energy about like locks of hair, or like someone that had cancer or something. I am wondering, based on that mournful energy, if there's something going on here that was at a very inopportune time for you. I don't, based on what I have for the first two, there is this this was supposed to be like a knight in shining armor situation, because I'm getting the lovers reversed, and I got to be careful here about what I show with this card. It's reversed, like for divorce or someone not being ready for a relationship because they were not really well enough endowed, not that way, but in their own abilities. And it brought the whole thing down, like I hear like a tower of cards or whatever. But I'm also hearing something to the effect here that your self-esteem was really weakened by this situation.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest problems was the life that you were building with someone actually had resonance beyond that point. In other words, there was almost something karmically designed where you were supposed to be together and you weren't. It wasn't fated to be. And it was a life suck. It was a vampiric drain suck. I was wondering if there was someone or something like an addiction that got in the way, or a woman who didn't know her boundaries. And if those boundaries were you, it made it hard to, it made it impossible, is what I'm hearing, to make them aware, or the other person aware of what this cosmic alignment was supposed to be. This was destined. This was almost like, this was some, you were both supposed to learn from each other. But when that thing came in loud and clearly, and broke apart everything, it was this. So
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I feel like the time had come, and you had to sort of make peace with the reality of what they were and what the situation was, and stop being at war with yourself about this. So that's how you let go. I feel like you're still internally putting yourself through the ringer about this. Like there's something in this that has something to do with this. If I had done this, this would have been better. If I had done this, this would have changed it.
Yeah, no. And she says he's clear that he doesn't love her. And I'd say, well, goodbye. Yeah, goodbye. Because if you don't, it just doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense at all. But it's the abuse. He knows how to push your buttons. Yeah. Yep. 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 That's why you don't have to be ill or have an illness to go have help from a therapist. A therapist can listen to you and offer you a lot as well. Good.
Yeah, and sometimes too, unlike psychics, they're going to pick up on stuff.
Yeah.
Only through training, only through probably having seen people, they become more empathic. Their system becomes more generative to healing.
Yep.
Unless they're totally there are times where you won't jibe with one of them and you have to switch for whatever reason. But
right. Yep. I wish you well. Definitely do. Okay, so what does this mean?
67 jewels.
I don't know what that means, Charlotte. 6-7? Is it 607? Is that what it is?
Jewels.
I don't know. Anyway. So no one else has any questions for us tonight. We can read on some other stuff if you want, Jeff. Like, where is Mitch McConnell? You know what I have the biggest problem with?
Mhm.
Why doesn't someone go to the hospital?
Yeah, and then all the security detail outside of that, and then all of the AI photos where
Mhm.
things are plainly wrong. Like they showed one where the window, the way the window was set up, it was in reverse when the outside. There was just something wrong with the photo.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I can't remember. I think it was Keith Edwards' channel, I believe. And then the five different hand sanitizers are, in the room, and it's
Mhm.
really
Mhm.
don't understand why we are
Yeah.
being treated like this right now. It's kind
Mhm.
of bizarre, and
Yeah. It is. It is.
it's just
Well, the fact that Andy Bashir, the governor of Kentucky, said that he got a notice 2 weeks ago that he was passed, he was dead.
yeah, that too. I heard that, and it's
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
we can't, and then we can't go forward and act on that
Right.
until the 3rd of August. Was he's
Mhm.
just going to somehow reappear on the 3rd to, ha ha? I know, are they going to wheel him in? Um,
Well, this is weird. I have to tell you this. Remember when himself went? Where did he come back from? I don't remember where he was coming back from. He came back. Oh, he had taken the regular plane. Remember, he didn't take it and took, and then he went back out there with it, and I think he took it down to Georgia. And so he's standing on, and I don't know why they do this. He's standing on the tarmac, and there's all that noise, and they're yelling at each other, and he's giving answering questions, and over on the left of his shoulder behind him is him, a guy that has on a blue suit that's heavy, and the same hair, and somebody put it up, and of course it could have been that somebody did it as a joke, I don't know, or AI, but it was so weird. It was like, and it was Jon Stewart that put it up. He said, who's that? Who's over there? And so does he have a body double? I don't know. Yeah. Oh, Aaron Parnas has a new report from the hospital today. Does he? And if it's not too long, Verity, what was it? I don't know that I heard. Uh,
what are they down? Two senators? And if they lose him, what are we?
yeah, they're down Lindsay, but his sister's going to run now because Trump wants her to.
She'll
But
probably get
we
that. Yeah.
we have Fetterman, who has pretty much flipped into being a Republican.
Mhm.
Yeah. So that was a trip. Yeah, that was a trip he went on. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. It's pay attention. Don't pay attention to the man behind the curtain. That's what it's
Yeah, I
like.
don't even know. Like that's the thing is there
Yeah,
one even behind the curtain? I mean, this is also
that's true.
weird. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Mhm.
Just
Yeah. 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 Oh, I remember that. But then he just took the plane again. He said it was going to have all bells and whistles put in, and they took it away and they gave it, brought it somewhere to work on it. Then he was back on it again the other day, and they said they told him not to go on it because it's not safe. But he didn't care.
that's why, like, when I put on these things now, I'm just like, yeah, it's like just do my puzzle and like leave it
Mhm.
alone because I'm just so confused by all of it now.
I agree. No, I
I
agree. Yeah.
I'm so
Hmm.
like I'm
Hmm.
just so
Yeah.
befuddled. And then even with all the things we know, and we can trace actions A, B, C, D, E, F, whatever. We know
Hmm.
all these things, but none of them really add to amount to a hill of beans because it's also insane. And I feel like that's by design.
It is
I
by design. Yeah. Yeah.
you know
And we've always had an element of that anyway, where let's keep them guessing. Like right now tonight, he's gone to the correspondence dinner redo, and he's going to blast the media, and it's their event. That isn't what it's for. So, yeah. very strange.
I don't get it. Do you
I
think there'll be another whatever again tonight?
Well, it wouldn't surprise me because that was not, just like everything else, that wasn't, that was pre-done,
I believe
and
that one when I read on that, I got that they had
Mhm.
the intel it was coming and they took advantage of it.
Uh-huh.
In other
Yeah.
words, that was staged
Okay.
because they were
Well,
able to finagle it that way. That's what I
yeah.
believe on that one.
Well, and Corey Compitore's widow, he was the fireman that died at Butler, Pennsylvania.
Mhm.
She has gone on record to say that it was all a hoax and it was an internal prep. So I don't know if she's going to be okay now, so not sure. Anyway, so Mel, you want to know about this collapse of the fixed star Antares and Gen X? I am not an astrologer. I don't know if I can give you an answer to that. It certainly is interesting. You've wondered about it as soon as you heard the imminent collapse. Well, we can do a blind read on it.
Yeah, we can see what we got.
Yeah, yeah. Because, but it has to do with Gen X. Is that what you're saying?
Let's
So that
see.
would be Gen Z, rather. I'm sorry. So Gen Z would be like 1981 to 90 or something. I think my son is a junior.
1980, yeah, 19 what, 83 or to
Yeah, my son's 84 and I
yeah,
think he's a Gen
so
Z. Okay.
yeah.
All right. Yeah, the whiniest. Ooh. All right. Well, I'm getting some interesting cards. Okay. First card I get is possibilities. I mean, it's like, and I think that just makes sense. It's like, there's a eagle that's floating over the landscape, saying that looking down here on us, there are so many different possibilities with this star, and like I say, I don't know much about it. I just am reading it this way. I'm getting creativity. I don't know if somebody creatively figured out that this was supposed to explode. And when did we find it? Do you know, Mel? Was it found during Gen Z? Is that why? Because I'll tell you why. Chiron the Wounded Healer wasn't found until 1977. But those of us that were born before they found Chiron, they can extrapolate back and figure out what it would have been in at that time. But it is interesting that it doesn't show up, in our astrology until it's discovered in 77. I got the miser. I'm wondering if the person who believes that this star is going to blow made the prediction for money. All right, Gen Z is from 96 to 2012. I thought that was the millennials.
I think
Okay.
it went actually down. It went what? Gen
Oh,
X, Gen Y, then millennials, then Z.
okay. All
And
right.
now
All
it's
right.
what, alpha or beta or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah. My husband's granddaughter was 2001, so she's a alpha, I think. And although no, Gen Z is till 2002. Okay. All right. So you're saying that, so was this planet discovered around 1996 or between 96 and 2012? I'm just wondering if you know. Or not a planet. I know it's a star. Yeah. One of the four royal stars. Okay. I love that question. And you know what? There's even another one that isn't even mentioned, and it's after the boomers. The earlier people from 46 to 53 are boomers. And Generation Jones is from 1954 to 1964.
Is that how it? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
Yep.
getting
And
it's
that's
going to activate them.
it's going to
I'm getting,
activate them. Okay.
yeah, I'll tell you
All right.
why. I almost feel like it's going to bring out their more rebellious. So I'm going to work backwards on this.
Okay.
The end,
Yeah.
the end result of this is the Hierophant reversed. They want to overthrow. I got to be careful. They want to reform.
Hmm.
Their fear is that they're going to be in debt. I'm using this symbolically. Their
Hmm.
hope and fear is that constant debt, constant climate change, having no grounding in anything, they're
Hmm.
going to be really affected by that. And then the nostalgic component comes out externally. They're really looking at what's around them and becoming more and more BS by it, only because it's tainting their memories of what they were told the American dream could be.
Uh,
They're having to hold on to money to pay debt. Um, this is like being in a position right now to try to figure out ways, and this probably is the most important card within this question because it's the activation. It's because it's right between the energy of what is the current situation and what is going to activate, what is going to
hmm.
move them. They're really kind of they're waiting for the right moment to do something. But one of the things I wanted to point out is in the beginning, the way they're feeling right now, Mercury in Cancer
Hmm.
reverse. They have nothing to celebrate. They have no promise ahead of them, and they are getting more and more fed up with having done all the work and feeling like, why did I go to college? Why did I study? Because this is upright, someone that goes and does all of that garbage, not garbage, but works very hard. And they feel like for what? Um, I think out of any generation, they're going to be the ones either on the front lines of fighting some of this stuff, activism wise, or maybe that's what I'm hearing. And I don't know what
Hmm.
Antares represents in terms of, astrology. Their fear is that they'll be dead before it's time that they can do anything. They really, really are fearful right now, and they were sold a bill of goods and they fell for
Hmm.
it.
Hmm.
That's what
Although
I'm hearing from this. Yeah.
my son has said similarly for millennials, actually. He said we were all sold a bill of goods. But weren't we all?
Yeah.
Weren't we all
We,
sold a
we all were sold
well,
this,
we
and we
really
would,
were, because I remember thinking, you know, okay, so I could buy a house in 1980 for about $112,000 or something like that. Let's just say under 90,000. Well, that's wonderful. Geez, I'll sign me up. But not when you make $100 a week. That's
yeah.
what we were
And
making.
yeah,
Nothing.
yeah.
$5,000 a year. So
No,
everybody has had to deal with this. And
right.
I understand how they feel, but it can be done. It can be done, but you got to do the work. So,
Yeah,
I
and
mean, yeah, yeah.
that's the thing with this too is like a lot of people feel like the system is shot entirely
Mhm.
now. Um,
Yeah.
and that's where
Mhm.
that whole DSA component of, that's why they're trying to be delegitimized by the other party because it's you know, the whole idea that those things could be done through the joys of capitalism and all that, and people are seeing that who has the real capital there, and now there's just this great divide. So
Yep.
who what you're saying is valid, but
Mhm.
is it people are starting to use these things as cudgels because in reality they can come in and buy these lands for pennies on the dollar,
Mhm.
and then people get swooped out anyway and they can't do it. So I kind of feel like it's the culmination of what you're saying, where for generations people didn't mind working, they didn't mind putting their best foot forward, but now there's this representation of through those cards, at least what it's showing me. And again, I don't know what Antares represents in terms of astrology, that
Right.
they're starting to think that paradigm might not be
Yeah.
going into the future to work well.
Maybe not. And Scorpio is like, isn't it that endings, or I don't know what house that sits in, but yeah. That's interesting right there as well. Yeah, the I don't know. I think every generation has to go through some kind of, what is the word I want to say, come to Jesus moment. So the star is about war, fighting, and reform. It's the star of crusade. I like that. Well, if that's for Gen X, that's what then I look forward to that myself, because we have to pass the torch to this new generation, and we're seeing people stepping up to do something about it, that are younger, people that are younger, and we need to have younger people running things, not these old farts that
Well,
are,
and even still, if anyone's backs are going to be most against the wall, God forbid any of ours should be, it's going to be theirs, I would think.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're most at risk for the draft. They're most at risk for,
They are.
a lot of different things here.
Losing Social Security.
Yeah. So, I mean, we're all going to feel that, but, I think that the idea that the government can take care of you on some level, it's going to be redressed by that generation more than
I love that, Mel. Thank you for bringing this in, because it is like a light in the darkness to know that it's, hopefully they'll pick up the gauntlet, because we need people that will fight to survive. Yeah. When I was talking with another reader yesterday, we were saying, really, everything has been so destroyed here. It's going to take years, decades for these things to be cleaned up, all the stuff to be cleaned up. And I won't be around probably for it. I'll probably never see it cleaned up. And, I really think that it looked like everything had gone really well, especially after 2008 when Barack Obama became president. It seemed like people weren't so racially motivated and hateful, but they only suppressed it. That's the worst part of it.
Yeah,
so that's a big lie right there.
Yeah, and I think really, and I saw the reading as I did today, or yesterday, that there really is this idea that barbarism is power, and the sort of primal evil and fear that we're feeling right now is something that does have resonance for a lot of people.
And I don't know why.
And it's how does someone transmute that energy or harness that energy to get back out from under it, or go along with it, thinking that it's just one big colossal trip to the end quickly, more rapidly. So
well, that's interesting. Well, we are in that, because the problem is that I don't know that I'd be any better at it, so I can't say that I would be. But the people that are quote in charge, and even those who are in charge but on the opposite side, they aren't doing their work. I was just talking with Jeff backstage about that, because I got my primary ballot, and I'm not going to vote for my congresswoman because she takes money from AIPAC. I will not vote for her. And I won't vote for a Republican either, but I absolutely refused. And then I saw the list, and there was only one of them who doesn't. And it was Congresswoman Jayapal. And she's not my congresswoman in my district, but she does not take money from them. Even Hakeem Jeffries takes money. So it's just really hard. Yes, he is. Maxwell Frost is a great light. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's very true, Linda. The reason why they are doing it is because it was brought up again to be done. And there's always that picture of Trump making fun of that disabled journalist during the 2016 election. And that should have ended that whole thing right there, that he made fun of him at that time, but it didn't. So. Jeff, did you go to sleep?
Oh no, I had to get my charger because my
Okay. All of a sudden, the lights went out. The lights
know,
went
right?
out.
Because my laptop is losing charge.
That is losing. Okay. This is an interesting thing. And you know what I think, Verity, is that they've always had it, because the Greatest Generation would have been like from 1920 to 1940 or something like that. So the labels that they've had have been around, at least in the 20th century, they've been around. So, but yeah, I don't know what they're going to do. They're going to go through the Greek alphabet, I guess, because now they're on generation beta. So, yeah, interesting. Well, let's finish up. We'll give Mary Hannah her reading for August. And are you still here, Mariana? I hope you're doing okay today. I hope your therapy is going well for you. Oh yeah. Okay. I don't know if you're still here. Let us know if you're here. Please. Yeah, woman. Yeah, right. That should have gone too. Absolutely. Okay. Interesting. Huh. You'd think so, wouldn't you? Mm. Yep.
I mean, I've been saying the last couple of weeks I've liked this. There can't be any double standards when there are none.
Yeah. No, that's true. You know, I teach. I'm teaching a class at one of the universities, and every student in there is a deployed military person right now. And if they're not deployed, they're on the list to be deployed. And they're trying to go to school. They're trying to do their work. They can't say what's going on. They get, all of a sudden they say, I'll be away a while, and all this stuff. So we were supposed to do this Zoom meeting. I'm supposed to do one with all of them. There's like 24 of them. And I know they don't have any time to do that. And some of them are overseas. And I said to them, I said, I've had military in my life forever and ever. And I said, I understand. And it's too much worry. And I don't want you to worry about it. So just write to me in an email if you have any questions, or if you want to just, say what's going on, so I can give you credit for it. So I get this thank you today. And this man said, people have said to me, thank you for your service for years and years and years. And now you understand, but a lot of people don't understand my service. And he said, thank you for understanding my service.
Oh,
So that was very nice of him to do. But it's like, of course, I would never expect anybody who's going through what they're going through to have to deal with some silly thing. Yeah.
In this, and I'm sure it means more to certain generations where there's not that acknowledgement anymore.
Right.
And
yeah.
it's a double-edged sword, because for a lot of people, they don't want to thank people. I mean, look at what we've been put into. So
I know.
and the people that would go along with it would have to be. So
well, people who have said to me, what, don't thank me for my service. But see, my brother came back from Vietnam in 1973, and everybody spit on him.
That's what my Uncle Bob said. He's like, he used to piss him off. He was born in 1961, and he saw people come back, who were mistreated and whatever. And he said, it's horrible. It
was horrible. No one ever thanked my brother. Yeah.
Was it that bad? Yeah. Because he said it was horrible. Yeah.
Oh yeah. He had
especially
all kinds
where
of
Vietnam
problems.
was concerned. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of problems. Really defined his life. And he was like 18, and he went 3 times. And So I always remember him saying, nobody ever says thank you. So that's why, another reason why I always do. Yeah.
Mhm.
The casualty list is being hidden. I agree with you. I think they said something like 7,000. 7,000, something like that, Linda. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's very true. That's very true. So I'm guessing that not Verity. I'm guessing that Mariana is
Mariana,
here. Yeah. So yeah. So we'll see you guys later. Thanks for sticking with us.
Bye, guys.
Yeah. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff.